we're still gonna call it Mikey Collects for today, but I'm really thinking of going back to chasing pops. Found the old ball cap, trucker cap in the closet. Um, I'm really wondering if maybe it's time to just kick it back old school, um, kind of go back to the roots a little bit. Um, I am gonna do a little bit of Funko collecting again. Trying to get the TV to cooperate over here. But uh, but yeah, so I am gonna start doing a little bit of collecting again. I'm going to keep it. There's gonna be rules. There has to be rules. So there we go. All right. So I think my rules of collecting are going to be rule number one. I'm going to keep the collection somewhere around 100 Funko Pops. So it doesn't mean get to 100 and stop. It just means I'm going to collect 100 Pops. So if I have 100, there's something I want, something else is going to go. I think that's manageable. I think I can handle that. Um, Second, I want to I'm going to keep it down to just a couple fandoms. So we're going to keep it at 100 pops. We're going to keep it at a couple fandoms. WWE, X-Men, movies, and anything that I can have autographed. Whether that be I get it autographed or I buy it autographed. Because there's some autographs, let's face it, there's some autographs that I'm just not going to be able to find without purchasing it off the internet. But yeah, that's kind of what my collecting rules are going to be. So anybody that hops into the stream, let me know if you want entered into a giveaway. I do have a couple of pops sitting back here. Simpsons Duffman, Funko exclusive pop icons, Whitney Houston. We have a fall convention exclusive Pop Rocks Britney Spears, and we have Deadpool as Roman Senator. So one of those are uh, gonna get given away. So I'm gonna do like a wheel, and I'll put your name on the wheel. We'll spin the wheel, and you'll get a choice of one of these pops. So we are gonna do a giveaway today, just because it's been so long since I've done any kind of a live stream, and that was on the old Mikey Collects channel, which this is one of my other channels that I just rebranded into Mikey Collects to bring back Mikey Collects. But anyway, so today I'm just going to be sitting here just kind of going through some of my pops, and I'm just going through and making sure there's no like fingerprints on anything, and I'm cleaning the protectors that these pops are in. So yeah, anything you guys want to talk about, hop on in here and we'll start talking. We'll let chat kind of decide where we go, if we get a chat. It's just kind of a random time of day to just jump in and start doing a live stream. I guess like as I'm cleaning the pops, I'll show you guys some of my collection like as I'm going along. It's like the first thing that I'm cleaning here is Dracula Walgreens exclusive. I just noticed there's something on my phone. Oh well. Uh, yeah, you guys won't see it because it's away from the camera. It's on my screen. But yeah, this Walgreens exclusive Universal Studios Monsters Pop 1152. I thought this was all black and white, but you can see he's got his gold necklace there. So it's not 100% black and white, but definitely fits my criteria to stay in the collection because it is a movie pop. Now, obviously, that's not something that I would ever be able to get signed, but it is cool. So along with that, Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman. I would love to get that Frankenstein. That Frankenstein's badass. Very cool Funko Pop. Kind of set them off to the side as they are getting cleaned up. So this one's another one that I've had. Well, that one I haven't had for like super long time, but this is one I've had for a long, long time. Bought this at Hot Topic. And this is my LA Comic Con exclusive Fat Man Kevin Smith Pop 483. So yeah, I've had this for a long, long time. I do see this pop occasionally at shows. I didn't go to any shows last summer, just one, because I wasn't collecting anything Funko at the time, even though I was still doing like vintage action figures, that kind of stuff. So I really had every intention of making like my normal slate of local shows. But I had a lot of back problems last summer into fall, and I just could not stand long enough to get around those shows. So unfortunately, it just didn't happen for me last year. Still pretty clean inside. Hope anybody that's jumping in, I hope you had a wonderful day. All right, now I'm just taking a little bit of a paper towel, just a little bit of Windex, just to get that outside of the protectors just nice and streak free and clean. Of course, I'll have them all fingerprinted up by the time I get them back across the room on these shelves. All right, so this next one, this is a cool one. That is Pop Shield. I do have some Pop Shield protectors left. So this is another pop that I've had for a very long time. I don't have my glasses to see what it says in the stamps. And actually, this one's old enough that don't even have one of them stamps. Like where it gives you the date and everything. And this is one of the ones made in Vietnam. So I don't. One of the countries they're made in, I don't think they ever put the date and all that. But anyways, guys, this is going to be Entertainment Earth exclusive. This was also shared with FYE because I know that's where I bought this at. And this is going to be flocked Rafiki with Simba from Disney's The Lion King, Pop 301. So this was one of the very first flocked Funko Pops that I had ever picked up. This and may have even been the same day, same pop hunt back when I used to do a lot of pop hunting. I picked up Snowball, the dog from Rick and Morty. I picked up the flocked Snowball the same day. So I went from having no flock pops to having two at that point. And then I know I bought a lot of other ones over the years. But I think that's the only flocked, that's 100% the only flock pop that is in my collection right now. And like that Kevin Smith, that kind of fits a couple different criteria for staying in the collection. One, because Kevin Smith is a movie director, so to me that 100% falls within the film category, even though that pop is for a podcast that he used to have. And two, because it would not take much to get a Kevin Smith signature on that Funko Pop. He has been to a couple shows in Ohio before. Nothing recently, though. I don't think he's been in Ohio for anything recently. But yeah, as of now, I'm kind of already planning out some of my later in the summer and fall conventions. I know WWE or WWF at the time wrestler Gangrel is going to be at Hall of Fame City Comic Con this fall. And so is Fabian. Oh my goodness, I cannot remember Fabian's last name. Fabian, co-creator of Deadpool. So that is a huge one to bring to Canton, Ohio. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I need to get like this Deadpool's cool, but I want just a standard Deadpool pop to have him sign. I think that'd be really cool. And then somebody that worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is also going to be there, so I'll probably find something, have him sign. I don't think there's ever been anything Gangrel Funko related. What I'll probably do for that is get something Jack Pacific. So I think he had a couple of Bone Crunchers, and trying to remember if he had anything like, I don't think he had anything Ruthless Aggression. I think he had already um, left the program by then. But I know there was like a Brood 3-pack, and there was some other stuff for Gangrel and the Brood. Whoa. Another pop shield, pop protector. So I'm just doing simple. I just have for like cleaning sunglasses, eyeglasses. That's what I'm cleaning the glass of the pops with. And then I just have like a dish towel that I'm cleaning the inside, and then just some Windex and a paper towel for the outside. But I found these just real light on the glass. Really does a good job of getting any fingerprints or anything that may have gotten on the plastic screen or plastic window, whatever it is that we're going to call it. So this one, Sticky Note Man. So I never did have the entire collection of this. I had Sticky Note Man, which this is a Think Geek. I picked this up at a convention, but this was a Think Geek, which Think Geek is, I believe it still is, the Canadian version of GameStop. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Leave that in the comments, please. But I did have the Peter Gibbons. I just sold that. I still have Joanna. And that's in a box for stuff to sell, even though that would fall into movies because this is from Office Space. Milton I never had. Lumberg I never had. I did see Lumberg available for a long time, but I've never come across the Milton. Now, Milton, don't be greedy. See, I know it's kind of boring for the most part, popping in, because I'm just kind of hanging out and cleaning stuff. But like I said, we're gonna do a giveaway. So anybody that does come in and enters in that giveaway, at this point, would have a extremely good chance of winning. I think I'm only gonna stay on maybe like a half an hour or something like that. We'll see. We'll see if anybody. Wow, that one was really dirty. Good. So kind of justifies that I'm going through and starting the cleaning process on some of these. So I think right now my collection is sitting at about 64, 65. Oh, yes, another one of the rules. So keep the collection around 100. That's manageable. Movies, X-Men, WWE, autographs, and everything has to be a standard single 4-inch Funko Pop. No more 10-inch, 2-packs, 6-inch, any other kind of multi-packs. They're just going to be standard 4-inch Funko Pops. And that is how my collection started. It was a long time before I got into any 2-packs, any 10-inch. I think the first 6-inch that I had it came in a mystery box. So that was kind of like open the floodgates. And then I had all kinds of shit after that. That, and then I had Rick Ship for a long time. So that was another one that Rick Ship from Rick and Morty. So that was another one that when I first started breaking that rule of and just started buying some of the deluxe, I think that's what they're really called, is deluxe pops. So that is something that I don't want to get back into. I think the 4-inch, it's a lot easier to display. And that's just kind of how I want to keep it. All right. And I do have the entire series of these, unless they have put more out, and I don't believe that they have, but I have all 4 of the pops for the movie Stripes, and that's the base 3, plus there is a Walmart exclusive But there's the base 3. This is Ox, and all this time I've had this pop, and I just now noticed. So this is Ox when he's doing the mud wrestling, and he does have a brawl in each hand. That is fantastic. Never noticed that before. This is a pop, really. That's a video I should make one day. And I know some people don't like to open their boxes, but I can just tell by looking at this one that I need to open this box. Look kind of like how rounded the glass is. So take the box, open it up. I use like a flat ruler, something like that, a credit card, and you can easily open these flaps down without bending anything. So get them open, pull out the inner plastic and the figure, and then flatten the box out. And then I like to take like a towel or something underneath, and then like another towel or something over it, and then just put pressure on it. Um, you could set like a book or something on it overnight, even if you want to. And that was a book would even be better. So yeah, like you said, a book or something on her, and it puts like even pressure the whole way across it. Leave it like that, like overnight, and you get like a nice crisp corner back on your Funko Pops. And a lot of these, this is how you got them out of the store. So this one does have a little ding on the corner, but I think it was like that when I bought it. And this is another one that I did pick up at a convention. And at that point, it's because I'd never seen it in store, and it was the only one that I needed at that point, because I did have both John Wingers, and I did have Russ. What a great movie Stripes was. All right, let's keep moving on with the Stripes Pops. So this is the standard John Winger, and the only difference, wow, never noticed that. I thought it was just a different head sculpt, but he does have his arm in a different position, and they actually even changed the box up. So you can see he's got the backwards hat, and the standard, he's got his finger up with his index finger pointing, where the Walmart exclusive, that arm is down, but he still has the index finger, so it's kind of weird. All right, come on, release. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of like another thing. Like as I'm doing this, I'm looking to make sure that I'm not using any protectors that kind of need replaced that I've gotten scratched up over the years. I think most of what I kept for the protectors are in pretty good shape to begin with. All right, yeah, this one's in pretty good shape. There's a little bit of wear on the glass, but yeah, John Winger is really cool. So you can see, there you go, the index finger up and pointing. And this is like, I can't, this has got to be just before they went to graduation. Because graduation, he had the hat on backwards. When they come walking here, boom, shakalaka laka, boom, shakalaka laka. Now I want to watch Stripes. Why did chicken cross the road to get from the left to the right? I think that's right. So I do want to thank anybody that has taken the time to watch. I did like just started putting content on when I decided to kind of go back into like the Mikey Collects channel. I did put a video of my autograph Funko Pops up. And that's not something really I need to clean. They're on hard stacks. So if anything, I just need to dust the hard stacks and maybe hit some Windex on the hard stack. But the Pops themselves have been protected from day one. So I'm not concerned about them so much. Ooh, this protector might need replaced. Looks like this one's really scratched up. I don't know. Was it the Pop? No, the Pop looks okay. Oh, this just one is really, really dusty inside. So, yeah, it's always been crazy, like how much dust actually gets inside of these things. This might be one that needs Windex on the inside too. We'll see. But yeah, especially like middle of the winter when it's really dry, it seems like these protectors are like dust magnets. That's looking a lot better. I think I am still going to clean the inside with the Windex. Just to be safe. There we go. Yeah, the inside's a lot better. All right, so it's not like wet in there, but it still needs to dry for a couple minutes here. And I will take that time to clean the glass on the figure. So I guess we'll do a couple of tips here. So I don't have any examples because I've already taken care of anything that was ever on my Pops. But when you buy your Pops, sometimes there'll be like a sticker from the store or whatever, like other than like a Funko sticker that comes from the factory. So a lot of times you'll peel that sticker off and it'll leave some residue. So a couple things you can do there. I like to take a Q-tip with just a little bit of Goo Gone on it and just kind of rub it around that area and then let it set for maybe about 5 minutes. Either take like a paper towel or a towel and kind of dab it up. Don't go smearing it back and forth because it'll get up onto the cardboard and you definitely don't want that. But get that residue off of there, and then you can take like a makeup remover pad or another Q-tip with a little bit of Windex on it, and then you can go across that glass and you can get any of the residue that's left from the Goo Gone at that point. So it can be time consuming if you're sitting down going through your entire collection, getting them cleaned up like that. But yeah, I've noticed that like conventions where it usually seems you'll get somebody put like one of them round stickers that are real cheap. And I just went through this myself with garage sailing with some of the stuff that I was selling, and I knew it and I still did it. I meant to put it on like the corner of the glass, like to where it wasn't all the way on the glass, like kind of stuck off, and I didn't. I stuck it straight on the glass, and then I had to get it back on. Hey, Christina, what is going on? The more you know. What is going on? So I brought Mikey Collects back, and I might change it back to the OG Chasing Pops name. Something I'm kicking around. I've got it in a poll on the on my channel there, but I'm just going through and I am cleaning up some of my Pops, going through getting any dust off, any dust inside, and then I'm like hitting the outside with some Windex to get them nice and clean. And I was kind of like explaining what like my rules are going to be to kind of start collecting again. So first off, the collection is going to stay at 100 pops. That's manageable. I have like 60 and change right now. And then the second rule, they're going to be single 4-inch pops, no 2 packs, no 6-inch, no 10-inch, nothing like that. I want them all to be a uniform size. And then my rules after that are like fandom related, where movies, which covers a huge spectrum, um, and that kind of lets in a little bit of Marvel stuff too when you start putting in the movie stuff. Anything that I can have autographed. My X-Men pops, which just because X-Men's my favorite comic and I want to keep my X-Men pops. And WWE. So wrestling, X-Men, anything movie related, and anything that I can get autographed or already be autographed. I did not clean the outside of that. And I'm also going to can I have that written down and signed? Let me go find a notary. I get a notary to sign off on that, and then I'll send it to you on IG. Then I'm also gonna do a wheel with names spinner wheel, whatever you want to call it. So I got Duffman, Whitney Houston, Britney Spears convention exclusive, and a Deadpool as Roman senator. So depending on if anybody else pops in, I'm gonna do a wheel for that and give one of them pops away. So that's like stuff that's going to eBay at some point. I sold. I should have kept count. I sold a lot of pops garage sale at the garage sale this weekend. So that was really like that's really like kind of what energized me, I guess. Like I was selling stuff for cheap too. I was doing like $2 a pop, 6 for 10. So I moved a lot of the stock stuff that has just been down here sitting in boxes. I moved a ton of it. So that really is what like kind of like energized me, like watching people that still collect that. And like I didn't realize that many people were still collecting Funko products like that. So like once it was down to like, okay, so I got rid of all this stock. This is the stuff that I had set in boxes that I was going to keep. Um, so like I kind of went through, entered all that stuff into like the Funko app, just for tracking purposes. I don't care about the value. Um, but yeah, like I was like, man, so I got this collection down to like 60 something. 100 would be a good number. That doesn't mean like I get to 100 pops and I stop. That would mean if there's something that I want, something, then that 100 is gonna go. So I mean, unless like I get to a point where like I have 100 pops and 100 pops that I do not want to move, what I think there's always something that if there's something else I want bad enough, there'd be something in my collection I'm sure I would want to move. Ooh, see, big fingerprint right there. All right, and we have Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn from Major League. So it is kind of funny. They must have not have been able to get licensing through MLB to use the old Cleveland Indians logo, because they did use the Major League logo for these pops. And there's also a chase of this. Wouldn't mind getting that, actually. That'd be a nice chase to have. Yeah, that protector was pretty clean. Some of these are going to be pretty clean and some of them are not. Just depends what was in it, and was it sitting in a box that was open or one of the boxes that was closed or in one of my totes. Yeah, I made pretty decent money garage sailing last weekend, so I was happy for that. other than Saturday, it did. We did start getting a little bit of bad weather, so it was getting everything packed up. Rain stopped. Looked at the radar. It was supposed to be done. Unpacked everything. Those everything was on our canopy, but yeah, I got everything unpacked, and then the rain come back, and it rained like twice as hard as what it did. So as soon as like it quit raining, then we just packed up because it was supposed to get really windy after that, and it did. So my mom and I, we were both out garage sailing because community garage sales in my neighborhood. So a lot of people were down here, but yeah, I did really good. Sold my window air conditioner because I wanted to buy a new one. I wanted to buy something that actually didn't go in the window, like a floor model, and the exhaust thing goes in the window. So I bought that, used it once because it was 80 something degrees Friday when I bought it. And I think we've cracked 70 one time since then. And we're not going to see a 70 again until I think later in this week. It is almost June, and we're still dealing with 50s and 60s. So nobody can say, at least in Ohio, that we didn't have a spring this year because it has been a wet spring. All right. So another pop. I forget where I bought this one at. I can't remember if this was a convention, a store, but this is a Loot Crate. You know what? I must have bought this at a convention because it's a Loot Crate exclusive. And that is Back to the Future, Dr. Emmett Brown. So you can see he's holding the cable to send Marty back to the future. So like the glass, I'm using the same like material that I clean like my sunglasses and my reading glasses with. The reading glasses that I have to have or I can't read anything for work. Very important to have them reading glasses. Guess I'm getting old. Goes with the territory, I guess. We got anybody else? No, just, well, thank you, Christina, for coming in and hanging out. It's just kind of a random live and a random time to do a live. If I'd have waited a couple hours, probably would have got a lot more people, but I want to get out and do a walk. I think the rain moved out because it rained on and off today, so I think the rain was moving out, so I'll be able to get out and do a walk. I haven't ate dinner yet either. There we go. Emmett Brown back in his protector. And another Major League pop. And that is the catcher, Jake Taylor. I'm kind of surprised they never made more of these. You know, they had Ricky, Jake, and the Chase Ricky. I mean, they could have made Joe Boo. They could have made Serrano. I don't know if I'd have made Willie Mays Hayes. Yeah, I guess you could have. Well, but then what Willie Mays Hayes do you go with? You go with part one Willie Mays Hayes, which was Wesley Snipes, or you go Major League 2, which was Omar Epps. So I don't know. That could be part of that. But yeah, they should have made Joe Boo. I think Joe Boo, especially if they'd done a Joe Boo and it would have been like a convention exclusive or something where they could have done a limited number. I think that would have went over really well. Like a 500 piece Joe Boo. That would have been awesome. So, Christina, how was your day? You get in a good workout today? There we go. So, Jake's back in his protector. And the last of the stripes. Russell Ziski. This does not want to. 2 hours. Nice. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to use some Windex on the screen on this one. I don't know what that was. That looks better. All right. I need to set this up. I just went straight on. Plan to go to Heroes Con in Charlotte in June. Nice. What week in June is that? What's the dates? Because my cousin lives like a half hour out of Charlotte. So if I was able to swing it and get down there, I would have some place to stay the 20th to the 22nd. I might be able to pull that off. Oh no, I'll have to look. Because I haven't scheduled one, but I haven't scheduled one of my jobs that far out yet. So I was actually gonna schedule it yesterday. Now I'm kind of glad I didn't. But yeah, check with my cousin. Maybe I can get down there, and I have to look at Heroes Con, see who all's gonna be there, see what to bring with me, see if there's anything I want to get signed there. Yeah, I was saying earlier that I know Hall of Fame City Comic Con, WWE wrestler, former wrestler Gangrel, and Fabian, his last name starts with an N, but he's the co-creator of Deadpool. He's going to be there, so that's really exciting. Any of the other shows, they really haven't listed there, and both the other shows are before that, meeting about 100 other YouTubers. Really, that is kind of awesome. So like other people from like the community, like collecting community, I can't think of like who all's from North Carolina. I feel like there's a lot of North Carolina people like over the years that I've met in other people's streams. And okay, so, you know what? Here, I'll show both of these. So this one's kind of cool. This is another one where I like when they do this. So it's the exact same pop, same mold, same head sculpt. All they did was take it and put Stay Puft Marshmallow all over Dr. Venkman. So Venkman, no marshmallow. Venkman, end of the movie, covered in marshmallow. Very cool. Oh, you know what? There is a difference with the box, and I never... Is that on the front too? Yeah. So they're both box number 744, but one has the 35th anniversary logo, and the other one does not. And the same thing on the back. Now, I remember these being in the store at the exact same time, so it's very weird to me that they did not go with the 35th anniversary logo. That actually looks like a really new protector. That is one thing I'm good on for a little bit at least. I do have like, I don't know, like maybe like a half dozen, ton of them in the comic community. Yeah, that's true. Um, I don't know as many people like nationwide in the comic book community, but I do know. I know all like at my local conventions. I know all the proprietors and all that because all them buildings like they all or comic stores they all sell like pops and action figures and stuff. So I know most of those guys, and a lot of them have in the past been followers, at least on social. And I did run in a couple people like, especially when I was really doing a lot of Funko. There was one guy. He's like, I didn't know him. I was walking past, and he like called me out, and he goes, "Hey, you're chasing pops." I was like, "Holy shit! Somebody at a convention knows me. That's kind of crazy." And I guess that convention a year before was a Hall of Famer Akron. It we were at Hall of Fame, but I think he'd see me like Northeast Ohio Comic Con, something like that. I think he'd see me there, or he'd see my video that I'd done there, is what it was. So that was kind of neat. All right, well, I'm almost out of pops that I was going to clean today. Ooh, that one's got a lot of dust on it. All right, cool. So I think once I'm done with that, I'm going to end the stream and get something to eat. Throw on some sweats because I think it's like 63. I might just leave my shorts on. Once I put a hoodie on, I'll be warm enough, especially once I get walking. And then head out to the towpath. That looks pretty good. And get in a little bit of a walk. I've not been on a towpath in a couple days. Flying in Thursday, flying out Tuesday. Wow, so you're going to be in that area for quite a while. So it's kind of funny because if you're flying into Charlotte, both my cousin and his wife work for FedEx at the airport. So kind of cool. Any Memorial Day plans? Anything, cookouts, anything like that planned? Actually, I don't have anything planned for Monday other than have a parade at 1 o'clock. Kind of right there in the middle of the day, but probably have a cookout or something after that. All right, this one I know the pop's clean. So I actually just took some pictures of this one. And that is the 2023 Fall Convention Limited Edition Glow in the Dark Toxic Avenger. This is one of the last pops that I bought. So right there, that tells you 2023 fall. So it's been almost 2 years since I bought any Funko Pops. Really crazy. Considering that at the top of the collection or whatever we want to call it, when I was in the deepest, 716 Funko Pops. Pretty much filled an entire bedroom. And I don't want to get to that point again. There we go, Toxic Avenger, nice and clean. Ghostbuster sticker, Taylor's Tins, FDC coffee. If you buy tickets in advance, 3 days, 75. For all 3 days, 75? That's not bad. Because you paid that like per day for that show in Cleveland, didn't you? Like something close to that? Wasn't like Thursday like 30 or 40, but the weekend was 50, 60, I think. Oh, what else can I clean real quick here before I end the stream? Yeah, I thought so. Some of these could, like, there's one coming up in Columbus that's really expensive, but there's a lot of guests that are going to be there. All right, grab two more. Just go for a few more minutes here. So this is most likely the oldest pop that I have. I was kind of thinking like some of the wrestling stuff. Well, my Zack Ryder, my Ted DiBiase, those ones are a little bit older. So they're still like the fat, chunkier style. That was the pops that I liked. I liked the pops before, like, whatever it was, 2017, 2018, when they started making them like smaller legs. Like, I liked that Funko style, like Cyclops here, like how chunky the body was. Like the Rick Vaughn, you could see like how big of a difference the bodies are now. This is stamped. I don't have my glasses. I think it's a 2015. Trying to get the light to hit it just right. Yeah, it looks like it was a 2015. Yeah, because that was before they switched. Somewhere around there is when they switched the X-Men stuff from Marvel to X-Men and had the blue, white with the blue, like all the yellows blue, and the X-Men was in white. This pop's actually gone up quite a bit in value. I think this pop might be like $100, over $100 now. A lot of these older Marvel ones held their value. The only problem, and I'm noticing it now, and it was like this when I bought it, there is a ding on that corner. I think I bought this for like $30 when I bought it. So I knew it had that ding on it when I bought it. So it's not like it was, it's not one that I'd like dropped or something like that. Dr. Doom. I'm kind of curious how does Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom, how that works out. It should be pretty cool. Looking forward to that Superman movie. That's, what, July 4th weekend? Yeah, this has been in this protector for a long time, so the pop was pretty clean, but the outside of this protector is a little bit dusty, just because it's one of those that immediately went a protector as soon as I got it. So there we go, nice and clean Cyclops. Marvel 58. So there was a Professor X, Storm, Colossus, Mystique, Magneto. I've seen the Magneto. I've never seen any of the other ones out. That'd be kind of cool to have that original. That might have been the first wave of X-Men in Funko. That would explain why this is starting to go up so much in value then. See, this one's still a little bit chunkier, but this is one, once you started getting into the Loot Crate stuff, and they had changed already to the current X-Men logo and everything that's on these boxes. Or Collector Core, yeah. They went from Loot Crate to Collector Core. I don't remember. It's been so long. Collector Core, because you had Marvel boxes, you had DC boxes. They had boxes for like everything back then for them Collector Core. Oh, as soon as I opened that, the bottom wanted to open. Huh. Used to see that once in a while. Brand new in the store, and the bottom didn't want to stay. Like the cardboard tabs just didn't catch. Christina, when is aren't you going to um something that Chris and Heather are doing? Like that mischief days or something like that? Or is that in North Carolina? I should get like a shirt of theirs someday. That's this coming Saturday. Okay. Yeah, it is this Saturday. I literally just watched something they did last night, so I did know that it was this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday, I'm 100% not available to be out of state. All right, so there we go. Angel back in the protector, nice and clean. Always like them older stickers too. It's like a lot of the older stickers. I liked the old GameStop stickers. I don't like the round GameStop stickers. The older ones I liked a lot, and I don't even have anything with the old GameStop stickers on it. I might in the for sale stuff, but like all my WWE stuff has the round red and white stickers on it. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm getting kind of hungry. Um, Actually, wow, I almost went for an hour. That's kind of crazy. I did not expect that. Like 52 minutes, almost 53 minutes now. But anyways, anybody that stops in and checks this out later, thanks for stopping in. Leave a big thumbs up. Christina, thank you for keeping me company. And it's nice catching up and chatting with you. And I don't know, maybe I'll do a little planning before the next live stream. That way a couple more people might stop in and get some free stuff. Uh, but yeah, other than that, we'll see you guys next time then.